Welcome back to the shop today. This is Randy again. Today we're going to be doing some more work on the Oldsmobile 455. We're going to be putting in the core plugs. I had to motor the block off the engine stand, and I already installed the oil galley plugs and the rear cam journal plug in the back of the block and mounted it back up. So I'll bring you over to the motor and I'll show you what we got. All right, I got the motor all masked off and all painted, and now we're going to be putting in these core plugs here. There's 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. There's a pipe plug here that seals your water jacket on this side, and there's 2 on the passenger side of the motor that you have to put in. So it's a little bit more work to mask it off like this, but I prefer to do it that way. I think it makes for a cleaner job when it's all done, rather than having spray paint all over everything. So I'll get you set up here and I'll be right back. What I always like to do is take a little bit of red Loctite and I squeeze it on my finger here and put it around the inside of this here. Where your core plugs go. You always have to make sure that these holes where the core plugs go is clean, rust free. It's like that there. I'll wipe a little bit on a plug here, just on the edge. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. And I made up a little driver because the plugs are kind of shallow. I made up a little driver here that fits in the plug, and we'll only drive it in so far. Just like that. Done. It actually looks like it could go in just a little bit more. I think I'm going to cut this one shoulder back on this a little bit more and drive them in a little further. Hang on, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Put a Loctite on the outside of this plug here. Smooth it out with my fingers. Drop that in there. Like that. Put this on here. Tap it in just like that. Okay. Just like that it goes. I'll get the other ones done on the other side, and I'll be back. All right, I got all the oil galley or soft plugs in. I got the plugs in for draining the coolant out of the block, and we'll start taking all this tape off. And there's a couple oil galley plugs in the front of the block I got to put in. So let's get started. Well, there you have it. Everything was all nice and clean. No overspray on anything. All the gasket surfaces are nice and clean yet. It's a little bit of work to do it that way. It takes a little bit of time, but that's the way I like to do it. I think it looks cleaner when the engine's all assembled. So, and one thing you got to watch out for when you're putting these rear oil galley plugs in, there's a pipe plug right there, and that plug originally from the factory is a square drive, and it has a 30 thousandths hole in it for squirting oil on your distributor gear. So you can use a regular pipe plug that you can put an Allen key in, install it back in there, but you have to make sure that you drill that hole so your distributor gear gets oil. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these two pipe plugs in here, and then flip it over upside down, put some main bearings in it, lay the crank in it, and get ready to degree the cam. All right, here's your oil galley plugs in the front. This is a regular pipe plug. This here is a special plug. It's got a hole in it, and that squirts oil onto your timing chain and your fuel pump arm, because there's an eccentric that goes on the front of the camshaft when it's all put together. All right, got you back over at the block here. I'm going to show you my method of how I check piston deck clearance. I got the crank supported with a couple of main caps. Got a rod in with a rod bearing on it. And I got two feeler gauges here, or two dial indicators rather. And what I'll do is I'll slide this over to the deck where it's flat. Zero out my indicator like that there. Slide it back over to the piston, and the piston will have a little bit of rock in it. So what you do is you average out the rock. This motor originally had about 14, the piston was about 14 thousandths in the hole, and I requested them to cut it so it's 3 thousandths down in the cylinder, and that's about where we're at. 2.5, probably 2 3/4, almost 3 thousandths. So they did a really good job there. The piston is right up to the top, and you want to make sure that your rod is pulled over up against your crankshaft on the front. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the crank key back in, get the timing chain set up, and we'll get ready to degree it. All right. All right, I got my piston stop set up here with a bolt there. You can see it touching the top of the piston. And I rotated it over till I got a mark 0. Now I've got to rotate it the other direction. And the number that it lands on, I need to split that number in half. Well, let's go back the other way here. All right, 50. So I loosen this up and turn it to 25. It should be right on the money. Let's do that here a minute. Tighten this down again a little bit here. Make sure it doesn't move. All right. Should be reading 25 degrees the other direction. Yeah, about 24 3/4, something like that. Oh, shoot. Okay. Okay, I gotta move it back. Okay. I gotta move it back just a touch. All right. $25 there. $25 there. Right on 25 degrees there. We'll go the other direction here. $25 degrees right there. So now when I pull my piston stop off, when this reaches 0, we'll be at exactly top dead center. Right there is exactly top dead center. So now I got to get a couple lifters in there. We can start agreeing it. I keep forgetting I made this tool that fits down in the lifter bore. Okay, I got the dialing. The cam is on the tool is on the base circle of the camshaft. Now I've got to turn it to. It rises up 50 thousandths. There's 50 right there. And our degree wheel is at 122. I'm on the wrong valve. I gotta be on the other one here. Let's go up here. Move this here. Okay. Check this again. Roll it around till it's on the base circle of the cam, which it is right now. I'll zero this out. Okay. I'll roll it around till we get the 50 thousandths lift. Right there. Now our degree wheel is showing 15 degrees before top dead center. The cam card says its intake valve opens at 39 degrees. I'm wondering here. Let me back this up a little bit here. Yeah, that's what they did. Why did they do that? They're showing duration at 6 thousandths tappet lift, and there's no number, but their valve timing on the camshaft, I'm at roughly 39 degrees, and that's at 6 thousandths of tappet lift. You can see right there it's at 6 thousandths, and I'm right about, I'm at 40. So right now the cam is like 1 degree advanced. I'm gonna have to call and check on that and see what the deal is. Let me go sort this out and I'll be back. All right, finally got that sorted out. What the deal is, let me grab the cam card here a second. You can see on the cam card here, these open and close events are at 6 thousandths of lift, not at 50 thousandths. And the card didn't have the intake center line, which is 106. He said basically the information on the card is not complete. He was going to try to get that updated and send it to me. But he told me there's a website called Wallace Racing, and it gives you a camshaft event calculator. And I went to that, and it came out exactly what it should be. So let me try to reposition this camera here a little bit better. Okay, make sure that's still on 0 right there. Okay, we'll go to 6 thousandths lift. Whoops. Six thousandths right there. And it says intake valve opens 39 degrees before top dead center. And I'm at about 39.5. So we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, now we got to stop again at 6 thousandths. Right there. And then to figure your exhaust closing, you go from 180 back. You consider 180 as 0, so you go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And the card shows, what does it show here? 71. 71 degrees before, after bottom dead center. And I'm at just a tick over 72, so and he said the camshaft has got 4 degrees advance built into it. And I'm about 1 degree late. So here's your 0 right there. And your dial indicator. It's within 3/4 to 1 degree what it should be. So I'd say we're good. All right. All right. One of the many things that you run into from time to time is misinformation or not complete information. I right away, when I saw that my numbers were about 25 degrees off, I was right away thinking that, well, the numbers could be at 6 thousandths tap at lift, and then I checked it quick and it was really close. But just to confirm it, I called Comp Cams, waited on hold for about an hour, and finally talked to a guy there, and he said, yeah, he said the card is not complete. Didn't have intake center line on it, which I figured out from the Wallace Racing website, that the intake center line is 106. So that's just how it goes. Things that are supposed to be easy sometimes aren't, and it's more than likely a simple deal where they've had updated their system and we're having problems with you know, not printing complete information. So the rock arms haven't shown up yet, so I can't check piston valve clearance. So I guess this is going to be it for this part of this deal. And as soon as the rock arms come, I'll get a head put on and figure out what length push rod I gotta have, and I'll bring you along when they show up. So anyway, that's going to be a wrap on this deal. So have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.